let's dive deep into the scary fairy tales with Hansel and Gretel, apparently, with this palette Candy Puppet by Noiricorn and Beauty Mole in collaboration with Freya, who is a known grunge creator in Instagram and TikTok and all over the internet where I could find her. Big thanks to Beauty Mole for sending me this in PR, for making a couple looks with it, and let's dive right in. My name is Vel, and let's figure it out. So it's me again, and we are starting our Noiricorn Candy Puppet with Freya collaboration. The box actually is very cute in here. I like the little raven that they have, also the little candies and like spiders and all of these little things that are tiny details. Because of this raven, I also decided to unleash my earrings that I bought from Punk Youth. I actually bought like 4 of them and 2 were as a gift. I'm still waiting for the others to arrive, but these ones I have so far. This is the raven on graveyard, I think, like something like that. And initially they need to be placed into the ear normally, but I don't like how they are on the side, and I decided to just flip the switch, so to say, and place them inside the regular hoop earring, because that way I can at least see them and what they are doing to everything. Okay, now for the palette itself, it's very cute, but once again it has a lot of details, has a lot of things that are like holographic and interesting, and the design here is really nice. It's just a really cool palette in general. It's only 10 shades. The pricing, we will talk about the pricing later, but for now let's do something with it. I'm thinking about something relatively graphic, but not too much. Something that can maybe stand out, but once again, not too much. So I will start with the shade Sugar Bat all over the lid. I'm using Makeup by Mario in shade Bisque on my eyelid as a base. So this will allow me to have something very sturdy, so to say. And generally, I think it will work with any eyeshadow palettes. So Sugar Bat goes first. Then I'm taking the Rose Toffee and placing it into the outer corner as an outer V shape, and I'm dragging it into the crease. Also, I'm dragging it onto the lower lid so that it kind of is there to darken up the Sugar Bat. I think they're very similar to each other, and I would like Rose Toffee to actually be a bit more dark, but that's what we are dealing with. And then I'm thinking to add a bit of graphic element with the shade Brumble. So I'm taking the pencil brush. Pencil brushes allow for a more precise application of the shade, even though they are, like, depending on the pencil itself, it can be not so good. Some of them are good, some are not. So it's just a regular pencil, little tiny pencil brush from AliExpress. And I am drawing the crease. I'm also going to draw the liner. I think I will go into the lower lid a bit more with this darker shade, so that we have like kind of an interest in here. And also I am going to add a bit of an additional line just towards the brow, so that I can have a bit more interest, so to say. And at the very beginning of the eye, I'm thinking to add a candy. Just a swirl candy, you know? It's not gonna do much right now here, but maybe it will look good later. I don't know. I have a feeling that I will need to recreate it differently, but that's what I have currently. A bit crooked, but it's fine. We can work with that. So now we are ready for our other things. For example, we can do shimmers. So Candy Curse is gonna be the first one. I'm just showing you the shade. I try to get it with a brush, but brush does not pick it up. So I probably will have to work with the silicone brush on this one. And when you're dabbing onto the pan, you can see how it behaves. It's just something really oily, I think. And because of that, I'm not the biggest fan of these shimmers. They're just really emollient. But yeah, I'm placing this shade under the brow into my shape that I've created. And then I'm going to switch and go into the shade Skullberry. Very cool looking shade, to be honest, but so dark. And the problem I have here is that on the finger it leaves a lot of holographic sparkles, but they do not transfer. On the swatch it was not really transferring. On the finger it stays, but further it doesn't really go. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know what to do with it. It's just how the shades are, so beware of that. This time around I feel like I like the mattes a bit more in this palette, but the shimmers are still kind of on the same level for me. And I don't know, man. I don't know. I will add a little bit of Candy Curse into the center of the Skullberry to break make this a thing, I also wanted to add, so yeah, Skullberry. As far as the main Candy Curse is going to be just an additional one. Very tiny sparkles that I see right now. Like nothing too crazy. And I think I want to go with a Skullberry with the lemon twist on the brush into this little swirl that I've created, but with a brush it doesn't work. So what we have to do is probably, so far, it's like here, from here, if you dab it somewhere, it's not gonna go from anywhere anymore. So you are stuck with this and you cannot do anything anymore. It will create a cross 100%. So the lemon twist I'm just applying to the inner corner because I just have it now there. They're all holographics and they're all not really giving the pigment, and this is what I do not enjoy. Other than that, it seems okay. So I will recreate the liner shape with the gel liner. Just the black, because that's what we have right now. It will create a very interesting effect of additional lines, but this is what we are here for. And then I will come back to you with the finished face. This is the look, and I'm thinking about Tiffany Valentine, to be honest. It's like she's a doll. Here we have Candy Puppet. Something in the topic, something in the theme. So I only miss basically the little beauty mark from Tiffany, but other than that, it kind of works, right? Modernized version, so to say. I actually really like the mattes here. I'm quite okay with mattes, but also as far as I found the base that allows everything to work, I think it just works better generally. But in previous palettes, we also had quite a bunch of mattes that are working okay, and some of them were not so good. So I'm thinking maybe green ones here, I don't know, but it shouldn't be because there are no neons, and neons are very specific, to be completely honest. Neons are very highly specific. So I am having high hopes so far, like not very high, but not extremely horrible. What I see right now is that very close, when you're looking in the mirror, you can see some holographic parts. It's present, it's there, but from far away, even just in the mirror, even from this distance, I do not see anything. So it's an eyeshadow for yourself rather than for blinding anybody else. I'm not the biggest fan of the texture. I also think that this kind of this is very dark shade, and it's supposed to go into redness, into the raspberry color kind of, and it does go there towards the beetroot kind of as well. And I think it actually has the same vibe as this Cherry Freya palette. You can see that there is a pinkish something, the purple pink. So this there is this one which also has holographic parts in it, but it's actually duochroming. This one is not duochroming on me. I cannot catch anything. So this one is duochroming, and it also has holographic sparkles, but sparkles here are a bit more prominent than they are here. So you have to take it into consideration. You also have the shade, which is this one, and it reminds me of the second one which I have under the brow, lighter pink. This one is actually also a duochrome, so this one is duochroming more, this one less. It still has a bit of a shift to the yellow or something like that, but it's not very prominent. Like it feels like they added a lot of emollients, a lot of things that allow the eyeshadow to be more like flaky basically, but not too much pigment, and that affects the not the duochrome pigment, at least. I don't know if there was intention for duochroming, but it's not that working so far. And the lemon that I have in my inner corner, you can see it like so. So it's this yellowish green. Yep, this one seen like that. It creates a crust. Even if you apply just a little bit, it creates a crust. Like the red one was fine. The pink one was more or less fine. Lemon tart right now is the least workable of them, let's say. And this these holographic parts are not like completely not there. They are there, but they're not very prominent. More like Odin's Eye, actually. I think they had a holographic shade in their singles, which I reviewed not long ago. And it was very similar in the amount of sparkles and the pieces size. So you can compare it to that. It's also very emollient, very oily. But on Mario right now, they don't want to crease. It's been like 1.5 hours or something like that. It doesn't want to crease. It's there. It's still there. Like everything is still okay with them. So that gives me hope that it's not actually bad or anything. It's a questionable color schema, and generally, I don't know what to say right now, but we will have 2 more looks with it. So I want to create the green one next and mixed one, so I can touch all the shades a couple times at least, so I can tell you more about what I think about the palette. The evaluation has to be a bit better from my side. Currently, I feel like I have a bias towards the Sea Beauty stuff, a negative bias, unfortunately, not like with Nomad Cosmetics, and I need to get rid of it. Like, I'm not supposed to have expectations to be met with these things. I should be more neutral in what I'm saying, what I think about the product. So I should evaluate the product, not my feeling about it. You understand, there is a struggle of how to distinguish between what I feel and what I think about the same stuff. So how I feel about the brand and the product and how I think it actually performs. So I need to be more precise in this distinguishment. I don't know if this word even exists. Anyway, so far that is all I can tell you, and I'm relatively happy with everything. I think it looks good, but as I said, it reminds me of Tiffany Valentine a lot. It's not bad, it's just something more Halloween-y, and I feel like this palette is also more Halloween-y. It was supposed to be launched back to Halloween, but something happened and it didn't work that way. Okay. Now, what else do I have in my face? The same Canon R8 foundation, the same Sephora contour stick, a NARS concealer in vanilla. I also have this. I've been pronouncing it wrong, obviously, and I have a friend who told me that actually this is Josuya, pronounced as juicy. Juicy. Sorry that I'm repeating myself, but it makes sense because of the name of the company, so it's Juicy. Now we know. Now I know more, so to say. Then as my blush for today, it's Dancing Queen, the Beetroot Beauty in its full glory. I just used a bit too much, and that's why it's giving me more pinkness. Then I have Tarte highlighter by Cleona. Tarte is slightly more cool toned. It's like a purple to blue, colored sparkles as well. It's very pretty, but I probably just wanted to like distinguish this a little bit so it's not as monochromatic as it appears, because it appears really monochrome. And on my lips I have Ash Canvas all over the lips. This is just a purple liner. And then the Grape Gushing by NYX Lip Ivy, Lip 4, still don't know. And Grape Gushing is very nice purple, really nice purple. Very dark, very interesting. When you remove it, you get a stain, so you can apply a gloss on top and everything is looking good. The same with other shades, but there are 4 specific ones that I love the most. Maybe there's more, but I don't know yet. As I said, I'm in no buy for January and hopefully February, and that's why I cannot allow myself get more things. I shouldn't. So I'm holding. Pray for me. Hold your fingers crossed for me, so I can actually hold tight and do things finally. So far that is it. I think I will do one more, maybe later, maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure yet. And that will be my conclusion for tonight. So see you in the next makeup look very, very soon. So I am back and I'm going to do something in whatever left colors. We have 3 more mattes to touch, and this is gonna be Halo Eye, because I kind of want the Halo Eye. I don't know about you, but to me it makes sense. So I will start with the shade Butterscotch. With a big fluffy brush, I'm just applying it to my eye socket areas. In a way that wherever it sticks, it sticks. Otherwise, whatever is gonna happen. So I'm just going over my eye socket kind of with this shade on the big fluffy brush, and this is so far it. With a somewhat flat brush, I'm going into the shade Licorice, and this will be my outlining first. So it's for the first darkening that we are having in this look, and I'm only applying it to the corners, also in the same way wherever it sticks, otherwise it doesn't matter. Outer edge and inner corner, and a bit on the bottom lash line, of course. Then I think I will go into the shade Wine Trap. It's very weird looking shade. It's like the kid's surprise, the Pampers surprise kind of shade on me, because it's turning more yellow, and it's that nasty yellow color, you know, like somebody pooped and it's not looking good, and it was mostly wedges. I'm sorry to be so descriptive about that, but this is the Vine Trap. And this is my inner, the whole center color. This will allow me to create like a base for the shimmer later. And then I want to get some smaller pointy brush, like a pencil brush, and go into the shade Brumble. I will just go over the edge very, very lightly, so it's not actually picking up too much color. It's just kind of trying to fill in the small gaps on darkening the area, but not too much, just a little bit, just enough. So that will be the idea of this look. Also, don't forget to apply it to the bottom lid and actually blend it nicely. I am pretty happy with it. I think it worked fine. And I think I don't really have any issues or problems so far, which is nice. But I still don't like how the Vine Trap applied. And this green, previous green shade also was, in the previous palette, the green shade also was one of the problematic ones that I did not like too much. So now we are ready for our shimmers, and the Lemon Twist is gonna be the first, and it's all over the lid. It's duochroming, multichroming maybe, and it has holographic sparkles. So this shade is the most interesting out of the palette, but it's also the most tricky. If you apply too much, you will get a crust. If you apply too little, it's not gonna work as nicely as you want it. So I try with a silicone brush just to apply enough, and hopefully it will be enough. Sorry if I rubbed the microphone wrongly, so that was my mistake. And then I will take the shade Mint Pop. And Mint Pop is less crumbly, less flaky, it's more sparse, more of a sandy texture. I'm gonna apply it under the brow, into the inner corner, and by the bottom lash line, by the bottom lid pretty much, because that's what we are left with, and this will basically give us the whole thing. The whole palette is touched now. I will need to confirm with one more makeup look of how what I think about the shades, but so far so good. I'm not angry or anything. I don't like the colors, to be honest. It's on me, on my undertone, they look muddy and they look like a Pumper Surprise. So I'm not a fan of these shades. It's hacky. It's quite a greenish yellow tones, but if in Nomad it was very nice chartreuse color, here it's not nice. It's like muted, muddy, dusty, and just, to me, it doesn't look so good, unfortunately. But that's an undertone specific. Some shades are just not looking good on my undertone. That's totally fine. It has nothing to do with the palette itself. Maybe you love these shades. And in such a case, I'm actually really happy for you. It's just not my cup of tea. So I will do a liner, most likely a very soft one, and I will come back to you with the finished face. So this is the look, and it generally looks good, and it does not want to crease so far, doesn't go into the crease lines or anything. It has a bit of like, I had a struggle with shades to be applied. Both of them are relatively flaky, and all four of them are quite emollient and flaky, in my opinion. So they're oily and flaky. This is not my favorite texture. I'm not seeing anything good in this texture at all. I also have a struggle with application, because if you apply too much, you will get a crust. If you apply too little, then it's not going to be seen, and it's just, it's quite a struggle. For mattes, they were applying okay, except this Vine Trap in the middle of the eye. It got slightly stuck. I'm not sure why, because usually on the base of Mario eyeshadow, nothing gets stuck, because it creamed to powder as well. So the cream eyeshadow turns to powder after some time, and you just have a nice base to blend on, but something got stuck. Maybe I did not dry it properly, maybe something else. So I feel like it could be improved, but generally it's not bad. However, the undertones of these shadows are just, they're not for me. I don't really like them, and I think they look muddy on me. They suck all the greeniness out, because I'm so pink in undertone, and they suck all the greeniness out by my undertone, and they just become this yellowish, nasty color on me, in my opinion. This is something that I just don't like. Maybe for olive undertones, this is gonna be amazing eyeshadow palette, because for olives, I believe that these shades will turn kind of neutral, because they will blend better with the undertone, And then you have this nice, so this one will become a bit more pink as well. The others will become a bit more neutral, so you get a better outcome for this palette rather than on my undertones. So pink undertones with these shades, they just do not work that good. This is just my personal opinion about myself mostly. So they work fine on the proper base. They work fine, so there's nothing wrong with them, but I just don't like it. This is not my favorite thing. This is not something I would gravitate towards. There are better greens for me, for my undertone, for generally, you know. And this Pumper Surprise that it turns, no, I'm not a fan. Just not for me, and that's okay. Not everything has to be something for everybody. It's like I have personal preferences. They are quite strong ones, and I'm just sticking to them the same way as I'm sticking to the same color schemas, basically, that I repeat combos more or less in the same way, that they always fall into the predictable, let's say, path of things that I enjoy seeing together. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I had a bit of a trouble here in the inner corner with the shiny shade, with the mint pop, I think it's called. Yeah, the textures for shimmers is just not nice. It's not that pleasant to work with. It can be better. But other than that, really, it doesn't look bad. Like, this whole makeup look doesn't look bad. It doesn't suit me, that's one thing. It makes me so pink. So I'm not generally so pink, but because of these colors, just emphasizes the pinkiness of my tone, and I'm becoming this weird looking. I prefer when I'm like more on the neutral side, so when I apply shadows, I like them to kind of make me more neutral, so that I would look either in the cool shades that's looking good, like in blues I look good in my opinion. Some pinks also look good on me. Some greens are contradicting. Some other shades also can be contradicting. These and fuchsia pink make me very pink. I feel myself like a Peppa Pig. It's just, I'm not even that pink, but on camera and in mirror just seems so strong. Oh well, that's all that I wanted to say. Now, what else do I have on my face? In my waterline, I used the Night of Creation, a purple multichrome pencil by Kaleidos, because I thought that it's gonna be contrasting enough. I also have purple lenses actually, but it's not that seen. They're just appearing more dark. Canon R8 foundation the same way, Juicy concealers, NARS concealer in vanilla, Sephora contour stick just as usual. Then I have this True Harmony blush by MAC. It's one of those blushes that are kind of more of a bronzer, like a blonzer, blush and bronzer in the same. So they bring the warmth to the face. It contributes to me being a bit more pink, I would say, but cannot help it. This is a cushiony blush. So Glow Play is the one that you've seen probably being like squished. Honestly, I hate it. I hate when people just ruin products for the views, but let's not talk about that. What I do with this, I do not apply it with a blush. I swipe my finger over the texture and then swipe. So I swipe on the whole surface and then I swipe it to the cheek. Then I'm blending with the brush. They turn into powder. So this is a cream to powder formula if you are worried. And True Harmony is just, it's actually quite nice. Not with these eyes, but generally it's quite nice. I do enjoy that. Then I have How Many Carats Diamond Bomb by Fenty Beauty. I'm not sure why I went with this one. Probably also kind of a contrasting something. Warm and cool, cool and warm, this kind of stuff. It would have been good also with gold, but gold will just emphasize the warmth much more. And right now I feel like it's doing okay job with the highlights from the side, so I'm okay with that. Then I finally tried the Kaleidos Sculpting Lip Pencil. This is the only one I have that I bought. It's called Java or Java. I don't know how to pronounce it yet. I think the island is called Java, but I might also be wrong. So Kaleidos pencil. It's something in between the Endless Cacao and Grayish. So it's not exactly like a stone. It's something in between them, and I do like this family of colors. That is a beige gray, light, like milk chocolate kind of stuff. It's just one of my favorite lip pencils because they are very universal on me. So I can line them over and then any shade can be set into that line. I just love it. And then I have Hydra Honey by NYX. This is also NYX Lip 4, Lip Eve, you know the drill. So Hydra Honey is this nice nude, I would say, and I'm enjoying it. So that was pretty much it. I also have my little bats, so I've unleashed the bats, also the Punk Youth. They are clicker earrings, and they look much better in this setting because they don't have like a prominent gate. Kind of, but instead they are clicker, and I love how they look. And I set my hair into some weird bun just to keep it away from my face, except these strands that I cut some time ago. I feel myself a bit more groomed, I guess, in such a way that my hair is away mostly. I like this look. I think it's cute. Other than that, I already told everything that I think about this eyeshadow. You can probably guess what I'm going to say next and what will be in the final thoughts, but I would still do one more makeup look and to gather the thoughts together so I can understand how the things are in a bit better way, because there will be like 3 looks at least. For 10 shades, it's more or less okay. Of course I can do more, but I don't want to, honestly. So that's so far it, and I will see you in final thoughts tomorrow. So this is the final look, and I'm actually the most happy about it because it looks good, it feels good, the shades are looking really nice. They are muted, they are more subtle, they are just good for my appearance, I guess. They still make me a bit more pink, I guess, as well. But nevertheless, these are the best. Probably. This makeup look is the best out of others that I've created with this palette, because I also used just a tiny bit of the shades that actually look good to me. I did not use greens or the yellow green. I did not the darker shimmers. I just used the light pink, which is very pretty pink, truly pretty pink. And I used a bit of a Brumble, which is a green gray, like it's a gray with the greenish undertone, something like that. And this is like the Morally Grey palette. This reminds me of Morally Grey palette, but I feel like Morally Grey is more vivid and this one is more muted. And they are different in other terms as well, but just a reminder of the shades, the pinks and grays, you know. So I'm loving this makeup look, that's for sure. I did not like how the gray shade, the darkest gray shade, was applying and blending slightly on this, in this look, in this scenario, but overall I cannot say that the mattes here were anything bad. So let's start right from the beginning. Actually, this palette was just announced, just randomly announced by Freya and C Beauty Mall, and actually no other marketing was done, and the palette instantly went to a pre-order. So it was not ready, I guess, to ship. It was not sent to anybody before. It got to pre-order. The emails were sent probably to like bloggers like me and other people to get this palette, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. I'm happy to work together. This is a collaborative initiative, so to say, which I sometimes prefer not to miss, even though I'm not getting much out of the actual like cycle of production, but it's fun. It can be fun, and it's a hobby. So anyway, it went to a pre-order, 30 days. It started to ship after 30 days. So they got my agreement, they got the address and stuff. They created an order, and then I waited for quite a long time until it started to ship. So I believe the bloggers and people who did content with this palette got it approximately at the same time as actual users. This is not something that usually happens, and I think it's not like supposed to happen like that. You need to know more about the palette, not only having like a one-arm swatches from Freya to get the understanding of the palette and to actually want it. So I think it's better when a few people get it and post the reviews, so you can look through them and decide for yourself if you want to buy it or not. Here it's like, here's the palette, buy it. So the marketing was kind of off for me in these terms, but okay, fine, we finally got it. I finally got it, and I get to film around the first dates of January. I got to film the product video, and now I have had time to get through the looks. So the Beauty Mall ships in the puffy sleeve. It's like a plastic puffy bag, which inside the box, which had this little guy. When I first opened the palette packaging, I was like, oh, that's so cute, because I'm a sucker for good Halloween theme, and I think that was supposed to good Halloween theme. This This is a little raven, and there's little spider and a little bat and a bit of candies, and they have bat wings, and it's just so freaking cute. And there's little webs here. So it was supposed to be the Halloween launch, and it would have been awesome, honestly, because it's so cute. That's so nice. This box also contains the information that it's a Noiricorn and Freya Candy Puppet Eyeshadow Palette. You have the ingredient list for every shade out of 10. You have the information about the external use, distributed by 8.5 grams. This palette is only 8.5 grams. This is less than 1 gram per refill. This is less than usual. So it's like, it's not typical. Typical is like at least 1 gram. 1.5 gram is majority of the nomads. 1.5 grams is like Bella Botebar. 1.5 grams, I believe, also like Diveroon and stuff. So the typical range is 1.5 grams. This is less than a gram. Keep it in mind. It will be important later. Also, all the other information like cruelty-free and vegan and 12 months and etc. etc. Then we get to the palette itself. So the back side features the same raven, crow, whatever it is, in red. The packaging is in green. This one is red. With the silver webs. I also love this element. And then we have super amazing design for the packaging for this cover art. This cover art includes a lot of different details. I love the find stuff games, so this reminds me a lot about the find this and this and that in this amount or something like that. So the search games, you know that probably as well. So we have also Freya featured here. It shines, it sparkles, it has silver webs that are standing out, it has all of the fun things. I absolutely adore this design, and I also like when the brands actually write on this side, because then you can see what it is, which palette it is, because I store mine as books, which is a funny situation here. I have palettes stored as books, but books stored like this. I don't have many books right now, but I'm going through that. Don't at me. So the cover art is really cool. I'm just enjoying that. What I find weird is that you expect it to also open and give you the shade names this way, but actually you have to turn it around because it's opening like this and the shade names are like this. So something is going off in my brain because of that. The little mirror here, there's also Noiricorn and little mirror also with the webs. And then we have our 10 shades. The color story is inspired by the fairy tale, and specifically German fairy tales, which are known to be quite creepy, if you know the original German fairy tales. So this one is about Hansel and Gretel, the story about two kids and a granny, the witch, who tried to eat them, but instead was baked by herself. So she got roasted, you can say. And this is the rotten something candy. The description on the website also tells a bit more about that. So it's a gothic drama and millennial candy tones, blending cursed confectionery vibes with vintage puppet theater aesthetics. It's quite interesting. Okay, the theme is cool. The shades selected are muted mostly. I love good muted shades actually, and you can see the makeup also looks good on me when it's muted because I'm not so bright by myself, not in terms of the color at least. And you have the Sugar Bat, which is super nice shade. You have the Butterscotch, super nice shade. You have Rose Toffee, which I liked as well. Brumble, which I wish was less green. Licorice, which got green for some reason. I don't remember licorice being green, to be honest. It doesn't like sink in my head. And we have this Wine Trap, which is the least favorite shade of mine in this palette specifically, because it reminds me, as I said before, Pamper's Surprise. This is not a nice green for me. It might be good for olive undertones, but for me it's not. It's a personal preference. Don't take it personally for yourself if you love the shade or something, but to me this is not good. This is not fitting. And we have 6 mattes in total. Majority of them work normally on a good base. I want to point out the base is very important in this situation, and I said also multiple times throughout the video and in many videos already that I'm using lately Makeup by Mario. I don't use any primer underneath. I wipe my lid, I let it dry, then I apply this cream, I blend it with a finger and let it dry by itself. It dries to powder, so you can use the primer and then powder your eyelid to get the same effect. This will also work. But all-in-one is a great stuff, right? After all. So on this base, they blend very good. They blend really nicely. They do not like each other. Why I wish this shade was less greenish at the base is because you go logically either from the green to this one, which blend normally, or you go from the rose toffee to this one, and they don't like each other because they are contradicting. Like slightly greenish with slightly pinkish, they are on opposite sides of the color wheel. They will contradict each other. You can get muddy colors, which is almost what I got here on the blending area. So I wish the Brumble was more of a neutral gray, like a darker gray shade, but it's slightly green. Also on me, as I said, this shade just doesn't look flattering because all of the greeniness gets out of me and it gets getting neutralized by my pink undertone, and all what's left is a nasty yellow. I just don't like it. The Sugar Bat was really good and Butterscotch was really good. So from the mattes, out of 6 mattes, I just don't like 1. This is a progress. In the previous palette, I liked 2 mattes and all others were not good for me. In this palette, I like more. This is a good progress. But then we are moving into the shimmers. First of all, they are not unique. They are pretty, but they're not unique. This green reminds the green in the previous palette as well, but that one was just green, and this one has colored sparkles in it. Pink, green, purple, slightly. It's a bit more interesting. Okay, fine. This also flaky texture. You can get a crust out of the flaky texture, and all of them have this texture. Previous palette also had problems with the texture of the shades, and on the website it also says that the powder on the softer side and slight cracks are normal, no returns are accepted. They know that the formula is something weird. They state it there to specify it. So it may crack. It's very soft, like it's not powder at all. It's very emollient, it's very oily, it's hard to work with. It looks good at the end when you are able to like go through the steps of applying it. But I think that we can get a better outcome in other palettes, so to say. So we have 11 Twist. This is a multi-chroming shade. It's insanely soft. It's a holochrome. So it's a multi-chrome with holographic sparkles. It's a holochrome. Then we have Skullberry. Skullberry reminded me a lot on the shade from the Freya palette with Cherry Yip in the red one, Fleeting Life or Floating Life, whatever it's called. This reminded me a lot, but this one goes into raspberry. The Cherry Yip palette goes into purple. Not unique, but not the same. Okay, this one doesn't have any shifts to it. At least I did not notice any actually. It's also really soft. It's giving the mud, like you are stepping into mud. That's slightly dry on the surface. And this Candy Curse is one of my favorites for now because it has a very nice tone of the pink. It's also duochroming from yellow to pink, and it has holographic sparkles, so also holochrome. But yeah, as I said, the texture on these ones is just not very nice to work with, which leads us to a common conclusion, I guess, for myself at least. The palette is priced at $47.99. It's only 8.5 grams, and it has some shades that are very hard to work with. So I think it's overpriced for what it is. So if you can get it cheaper, if you really want it, if you are okay with everything that I mentioned here, if you are okay with the shimmers being on the oily side, that are more emollient, that are harder to work with, that can create a crust on your eyelids, you have to know that. The mattes are okay. The fact that I don't like some tones is my personal problem, let's say. But the mattes are okay. And shimmers here are not that good. There are only 4 shimmers. They are all this texture, and 8.5 grams for $47.99. It's $41.95 in euros. I think it's a bit overpriced. I think it should cost less. But it's very cool design. And overall, this palette is cute, but it has more no's to me than it has yes. So if I knew these things about the palette, I probably wouldn't have bought it, despite the fact that it was sent to me. Like, I'm just thinking as a consumer. Knowing some of these, especially with the shimmers, I probably wouldn't have bought it. On the other hand, it has quite unique shades in matte, and I've generally enjoyed this experience much more than the previous one. So this palette is better than previous, but still not tweaked enough. And that is what I think about it. So let's have a look at all of the makeup looks that I've created with it. It's only 3 so far. This review was unexpected, to be honest. I did not think that I will go through that and through with that. And yeah, it was a surprise. But I still did enjoy it, and I'm really thankful to Subutimol for sending me this stuff. It's fun to touch different things, especially if you're not paying for it. But I still would say what I think about anything that I get sent. If I don't like it, I don't like it. If I love it, then I'm definitely gonna tell about that. So tell me your thoughts, if you are going to pick it up, if you are interested in the reviewing of that, if you agree with me, if you disagree, if you like the makeup looks, if you like the shades. If you don't, it's all really relevant information to this video, and YouTube loves that as well, as I do. So if you are here until now, then thank you so much for watching. I was really happy to be here with you and to later read your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It was a pleasure, and see you in the next video very, very soon. Bye.